What's good, everybody? Welcome to Midwest Sagacity. I'm your host, Midwest Savage, and thank you for stopping by. Let me ask you a quick question. Where is the one place you can't FA or you'll find out quicker than this dude did with Mike Tyson's patience on an airplane?
Hey, Mike, come on.
Or you're forced to face facts and slide your feelings to the side and take it like a boss, like this dude took a taser.
I'll get you, bitch.
That's right. There's only one place you can really force people to be civil and take all the preconceived notions about how people treat them and everything and throw that out the window. Unless they want it to be to their detriment. Only one place only. That's the courtroom. That's right. Let's delve into it. Welcome back. I want to thank everybody for sticking with me over these past 4 months. Been going through a lot of things, and I really appreciate all the subscribers that stuck around. I know I don't have that many to begin with, but I'm glad everybody just stayed with me and hopefully get to watch me grow. I'm not done yet, and so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. Now, I only have one video for you today. It's a lengthy one, but this is like one of those situations where every person that has any kind of reason or maybe on the conservative side or maybe just with common sense, period, would love to sit down with these far left leaning people or these people with preconceived notions of how people view them in the world. And, they beat themselves down, they beat their communities down, telling them they're being oppressed and everything like that. And this is just like one of those situations where they can't pull any of the normal stuff once you break down all their arguments and destroy them and then, bring nothing but logic and reason. What usually happens next? Well, usually you have them just, start insulting you. And then if you keep, blasting through the insults, telling them, their insults aren't arguments, well, then the next step usually is they try to assault you. Or, they delete you off Facebook and never want to talk to you ever again, type of thing. But this is a situation when you're in the courtroom where you're not allowed to do that. You still have to talk to this guy. If you haven't got everything resolved that day, you have to come back. So you have to be civil the entire time unless you really want to make your life hard. So this is one of those videos that just, I guess that this is like a treat for conservatives. Like, we wish conversations could go this way, because when someone is forced to listen to reason and all their arguments just get blown out of the water, this is what an actual debate and conversation should look like. So I really wanted to go over that. Plus, I chose this video because everyone, I swear, they all remind me of some kind of actor. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll point them out, and let's go ahead and get into it. All right. First off, we got Judge Damon Wayans here. I swear, this guy looks just like Damon Wayans. And the guy, man, I swear I've seen him like on a commercial or something. You guys gotta go ahead and leave it down in the comments of who the defendant reminds you of, because you guys probably all know someone that acts and talks just like this guy. So that's another reason I chose this video, because it's just kind of comedy. Let's go ahead and get it started.
Mr. Granger.
Oh, by the way, I got this video from OldSquishyGardener's CourtWatch. Funny name, by the way. If you guys like court videos, this guy posts them often. Go ahead and check his channel out. I'll try. I'm not really good with the whole description and leaving links and stuff. I'm learning everything as this channel grows. But if I can remember and I can figure it out, I'll go ahead and put his channel down in the description. But let's get into it.
Yes, sir. What do you want to do? Mr. Granger stands ready to enter. Please.
Okay, so that previous guy is a bald guy. gosh, he reminds me of somebody, but I just can't put my finger on it, an actor or character in a video game or something. And then this dude looks like he was off The Walking Dead, The Kingdom. That
Proposed by the prosecutor, limited access 1 to 5, and the littering charge.
How old are you, Mr. Granger?
53 years old.
This is the city of Detroit versus Ronald Keith Granger.
Your Honor, Mr. Granger would avail himself of the people's offer to allow him to enter pleas to limited access 1 to 5 miles over the limit and the charge of littering.
now, as we go throughout this video, right, the littering charge becomes a thing. And that in this is taking place in Detroit, which I find very odd that this judge gets hung up on this littering charge, but it's hilarious as we unfold.
Mr. Granger, you're 53 years old,
Yes, sir.
and you still find it
Tell me this dude don't remind you of Damon Wayans.
necessary to throw your trash,
Even kind of talks like him.
your garbage that you didn't want on your person, and just litter it on the streets for everybody else to have to pick up after you?
No, sir. It wasn't like it sounds. I had a water bottle sitting on top of my bike and it fell off. I didn't pick it up right away. So I wouldn't call that like I was just littering in the city of Detroit.
Now he even makes it a point to point out the fact it's the city of Detroit. Are you really tripping off this littering charge? Someone please down in the comments tell me who this guy reminds you of, because man, it's giving me some vibes, but I just can't figure out where it's coming from. He talks like a character.
It took the officer to make you pick it up, though.
Pardon me?
You didn't stop and pick it up on your own, did you?
Sir, I would have picked up the water bottle, not a problem. But I felt like the officer was also kind of picking on me.
Okay, so here we go. Here's where I'm talking about where people try to pull that victim card, and every time, conservative or somebody with just some common sense tries to argue against this whole victimhood, people are like, you don't understand, you're not black enough, you're not white enough. Well, they never say you're not white enough. Well, white people say that to me, but black people, you're not black enough, or you've been whitewashed or whatnot. And those are the insults they start to throw when you try to just burn their victimhood card down. But in a courtroom, can't really do that, can you? Especially when you get a good judge that relies on nothing but reason, logic, and the law.
And you say that, how is that?
Sir, I don't know if you ever experienced anything like this, but being a black man, it's kind of rough out here for us.
So he had to start off with, I don't know if you've experienced this or not, because obviously he's talking to a black judge. So this is where the judge proceeds to burn that whole victimhood card to a crisp.
Black man too.
Yeah, I understand that, but sir, I haven't got any tickets and been in any kind of trouble in years.
So hold on, he felt he was getting picked on, right? And usually when you feel like you get picked on, it's more than one occasion where it seems like you're being targeted by a particular officer or officers, or you're being targeted in an area and you always seem to get pulled over. But he just admitted that he hasn't had any tickets or any problems in years. So I don't quite see how he could pull the victim card there if it's one time. I mean, almost everybody in America is going to get pulled over at some point or another. There's so many laws, it's almost impossible not to break one, plus with the busy schedule and people's everyday lives. You know, sometimes you accidentally run through a light or a stop sign, or, you know, you just forgot to completely stop, or, you stop through the intersection a little bit because you weren't paying attention. I mean, it happens. But to pull the victim card just because you're black, that's kind of why no one's feeling, the movement, is because of stuff like that.
All I'm talking about, okay. Let's break it down.
And I like how the judge stops it right there.
Going 53 miles an hour in a
Go on, Mr. Wayans.
35-mile-an-hour zone. All right. Now,
Yes, sir.
Are you trying to tell me that you weren't doing 53 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone?
Sir, I believe I was.
Okay. With that answer right there.
Oh man, this guy's a character. I am so grateful for OldSquishyGardener to bring this one, man. That's hilarious.
Where is Corporal Boyd?
He's in the break.
We're going to have him in on this conversation too, because you're talking about somebody picking on you. With that answer right there, you're going 53 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. You don't think that the officer can pull you over for going almost 20 miles an hour over the speed limit? You call that him picking on you?
Hey, sir, it was more like this, okay? I was cruising my bike. I didn't realize the fact that I was going this fast. And I was on
Let me stop you. I asked you a simple question. You don't think you already agreed and admitted to saying I was doing that over the speed limit. You don't think that the officer can pull you over for that?
Yes.
So how is that picking on you?
I'm really glad that he stopped it as soon as he said, I felt I was getting picked on. Because he's just going to tear that argument apart off top instead of what judges normally do, and they just dismiss it. So I really like that this judge took the time to really just straight up hopefully break somebody out of their, I mean, it's a doubt that it happened, but break them out of their normal train of thought, where they're a victim and they can't do any wrong and they don't know why they're even in court. I'm really glad he stopped to break that down. I wish more judges would do that.
Yeah, and I really don't have anything to say.
Really, what could you?
How was that picking on you? Because I'm not going to let you come in here and try to pull the black card when you are in the wrong right off the rip.
I even like the way this judge talks. This talks like it would be.
I mean,
and you're 53 years old, and we have this narrative that, and I agree. Sometimes you do get picked on, but you're not getting picked on right now doing 53 and a 35. You speeding, and you got caught.
But what I'm saying, Your Honor, at this time, I didn't really think I deserved to get 4 tickets, period, at one time. And I know I had my proof of
That's what he
insurance.
meant by
I know that should have been threw off right off the rip. And
see, the one thing you don't want to do is try to throw the language back at the judge and do it with an attitude like that, because he's gonna destroy you. A judge like this is gonna pick apart every single one of your arguments. See how this goes.
And that is getting thrown out. But Corporal Hoyt, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
O.S. Berry Jr. on behalf of Mr. Granger.
So here's the lawyer trying to interrupt Mr. Granger from really getting himself into a pickle here.
Corporal Hoyt, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
For the kingdom.
Yes, Your Honor. Corporal Nicholas Hop, badge 179, Detroit Police Department.
Please now report Dante Goss, PC 0162. We have the people.
I mean, even the cop looks like he was in a show.
Granger,
It just looked like a whole bunch of actors.
It's too many people that can and rightfully raise that claim about being picked on because they're black. But in this case, you already admitted to doing 53 in a 35. All Corporal Hope is doing is trying to keep the streets safe and you safe.
Yes, I understand. I understand, Your Honor, but you know, at the same time, Gratiot Avenue, I never really knew that you have to be doing 35 miles per hour down Gratiot Avenue. I've been driving down here for years, and I've never been pulled over, Your Honor.
Oh my gosh. You know, this is why lawyers want, the defendants to just shut up. Now you just admitted that you've been, it's on the screen, been speeding my ass off for years. And so I should keep on doing so. Yeah, you just admitted that you've been doing it for years. Which is kind of stupid because now the cops should probably going to be casing that out. After that, is if you're doing it, other people are doing it, so that it's gonna be a hot spot to write some good tickets, right?
On Gratiot.
You just brought the heat to your hood.
Let me stop you there. Then I'll let you say that. Now, whose fault is that? That you don't know that on a city street, if you don't see a speed limit sign, you don't know the rules for that. You need to go get yourself some driver re-education. Then, because if you don't see a speed limit sign, the speed limit is 35.
My gosh, he talks like Wayans.
I understand, Your Honor.
Still can't figure out who this guy reminds me of.
Blaming anybody, you gotta check yourself first. You feel me?
Yes, I hear you. I understand, Your Honor.
All right, Corporal Hoyt, what's going on with this littering?
He gets stuck on this littering.
This littering happened while on the traffic stop. He ended up purchasing, I believe, a water bottle from the gas station. While on scene, he ended up either finishing it and then tossing it onto the ground. So therefore, I issued them the citation for the littering.
All right, he indicates that it just fell on the ground. Did you see this thing get tossed on the ground?
I did see him toss it. I did tell him to pick it up, at which time he told me he just walked off. He didn't want to pick it up. If he would have picked it up, I wouldn't have written the citation. I understood he was a little frustrated at that time. Usually with that he was not on the bike and tossed it, somewhere in a different direction. It was in this vicinity where he could have picked it up and just, left the location.
All right, so now we face to face, we man to man, Mr. Granger. What you got?
Yeah, it's really easy, especially when people's arguments get destroyed, to say stuff when the other party isn't there. But when they are, they're kind of left, especially when they know. In the court of law, you got to tell the truth, because if you get caught lying, it's another charge. You don't want that, because that could come with jail time. So, and it goes on your record versus traffic tickets.
What say about that? Did it go down like that or not?
Pardon me?
Did it go down like that or not?
Yeah, it kind of went down like that.
See, I never just did things just to do them. Come on, I mean, what am I gonna do? Just all of a sudden just jump up and grind my feet on somebody's couch like it's something to do. Come on, I got a little more sense than that. Yeah, I remember grinding my feet on Eddie's couch.
That's face to face, man to man. All right.
That dude straight up pulled some Rick James. You know, act like I came over put my foot. Yeah, it kind of went down like that.
What
Wow.
you want to do, Counselor?
Your Honor, Mr. Granger wishes very much to avail himself of the offer
Yeah,
to enter
part of the
pleas
kingdom.
to limited access 1 to 5 miles over and the littering charge.
As for the littering charge, what I'm going to say about it is, and the reason why, I'm definitely being hard on you, Mr. Granger, because you made that initial statement that you feel that you're being picked on because you're black.
For one, when you try to pull a victim card in the courtroom, it's looked down upon by the judge, and they are going to treat you more harshly. Luckily, this judge has a good head on his shoulders.
And I'm not going to let that statement go lightly, because if it is a case situation where I felt that was actually the case, then I would delve more into that with the officer. But in this situation, the initial thing you said automatically was I was doing 53 and a 35. Now, I understand nobody likes getting pulled over. Nobody likes getting caught. But it happens. I know traffic is going up, Gratiot. Everybody's doing almost that. But that's why Corporal Hood is there. So they can slow down for our kids and their families and people riding their bikes and other drivers, that they can go up and down the street safely.
And that's just one of them logics. How do you even argue with that? And in the normal world, for some reason or another, they really try to argue against it. And, you don't understand. You ain't part of this community. You ain't black like me, so you don't get profiled like me. And they really try to argue. And, but in the courtroom, can't really do that. And this is just really good to see how an argument should naturally go. It's unfortunate that we can't, have these discussions about race, about victimhood, and let the best ideas win. We're just not able to do that anymore in society right now. And I don't know if it'll ever get back to that unless something really tragic happens, unfortunately.
Now, what I do feel is that you were mad and you didn't. I look at you a little differently now, as opposed to when I thought that you were just out here just throwing trash out, and that's why initially you got stopped. You got stopped because you were speeding, and then you were mad, so out of spite, you want to go throw something on the ground. Is that how it went?
Yes, sir.
See, that's a great thing. Once you lay it out for them, there's really not much they can say. And you just kind of have to, take responsibility for your actions. And, if more judges would just quit all out dismissing people's arguments in court and actually break it down like this, even though they're dumb arguments, and they might get tired of hearing it, and they might, want to get to the next docket, the next case on their docket. If they really took the time to sit down and educate people like this, I think people, once they get out of this courtroom, would maybe start to, take more responsibility for themselves and really, start to take a look at how they are looking at the world and how their worldview has been probably skewed and a little wrong. if judges took time to just explain and counter their arguments with just good reason and logic, I think that would go a long way in society right now. Unfortunately, we got too many judges that just want to get through the day, and that's understandable. I mean, day in, day out, they're doing this stuff, and it can probably be pretty repetitive. I mean, let's be honest. They hear the same arguments in the same excuses time and time again. However, if you've taken all that knowledge and you take the time to debunk those arguments, you can do it pretty quickly. I mean, this doesn't really take them all that long to do. And I think it might have an impact on this guy's life. Hopefully. Not for everyone, but some people.
A in-depth conversation with Corporal Holt, and this offer is because Corporal Holt asked for it. I wanted something different, but I gave deference to Corporal Holt for this life offer.
So I don't know if you guys heard that. This is a case where the officer actually realized that the guy was frustrated and everything, and asked for the deal from the for the attorney. So that officer was actually on the side of this guy trying to play the race card. What a great officer. And, it probably was a little disheartening for him to hear that guy try to pull that race card on him after he tried to cut this deal with the attorney. And sadly, when you do something like that, when the officer's the one trying to make the deal and you still come to court and try to pull that, how likely is that officer going to be to try to do it the next time? If he's going to just keep being called a racist and stuff like that, why would he be nice to anybody and try to cut a deal with the attorneys on the defendant's behalf? Careful what you guys wish for.
All right. And I appreciate that. I've always known Corporal Holt to come in here and be fair. And that's why I'm taking it to this level. But I also want Mr. Granger to recognize that before you come in here and cast those aspersions, you got to check yourself at the door. And then it's a point where, probably if you weren't mad, if you would have known the rules to the road and known that 35 miles an hour is the speed limit, if you would have known the rules yourself, you probably had this whole situation probably would have rolled a lot differently because you wouldn't have had that attitude with the officer.
Also, in fairness to the defendant here, Mr. Granger, put a damn speed limit sign on the damn road, Obviously, it's a high enough traffic where people are doing this, where it should be posted. There ain't no excuse for that in a city, especially as large as Detroit. I know they're money capped right now, but come on. He said he's been doing this for years. There was a time Detroit was a hustling, bustling city, and they shouldn't have had no problems putting up speed limit signs. So maybe they need to get one down there, or put in some speed bumps, whatever you got to do.
Right, sir. But on a regular, Your Honor, I don't speed. I don't.
Okay. You already admitted to doing this for years. Come on. Again, this is one of those times where the lawyers wish the defendant would just shut up.
I'm a law-abiding citizen. I work. I normally obey the law.
Normally obey the law is not the same as always obeying the law. And to be quite frank, there's no one in this country that obeys all the laws all the time. It's not even possible. And the sad thing is, ignorance of the law is not a defense in the courtroom, which is terrible when you got literally libraries full of all the laws. And then on top of that, federal laws to go with it. That is one problem with the justice system in this country. in the fact that legislatures are constantly passing new laws. And it shouldn't be like that. All right, let's get back to it.
Law, period.
I got that. But you can't say you don't speed because you admitted to speeding. You don't know the rules of the road.
Again, you try to use this, or I'm a law-abiding citizen and everything like that. And as I was saying before, everyone breaks it every now and then. It just sucks to get caught. And it really sucks when they throw one of these old laws that they never use at you just to try to get you on something. Now that's that garbage. And I think we really need to revamp the justice system. Like I was saying before, should just be some basic laws. Don't kill, don't steal, no lying in court, no false witnesses, don't rape, don't pillage, no assaults, things like that, just those basic things. And then all these extra laws just designed to entrap people, they really need to do away with them because it just, for one, it clogs up the court system. You can't even get people through the court system fast enough. And that just doesn't make any sense. Especially with the way that these judges, they spend 10, 15, 20 minutes per case in an 8-hour period, Monday through Friday, and they're bogged down for months. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. They need to really just come up with some basic universal laws and say, hey, you guys can make laws, but it has to pertain to business. Because the rest are just pretty much trampling on everyone's freedoms. Enough of that rant.
You need to check the rules of the road. And you would have known that Gratiot is 35 miles an hour. We're not saying that you're some kind of super criminal or nothing. All I'm saying is that, first of all, when you get pulled over, no matter whether you feel that you're right or you're wrong, or you feel that the officer's wrong, you need to check yourself and check your attitude. And then you come into court and deal with it. Because you probably just would have been dealing with just a speeding ticket. Or maybe you might not have been dealing with nothing. He could have said, I'm just going to give you a warning.
Yeah, Your Honor, after my bike got impounded and I went down there and paid $300 to get my bike out, I was a little frustrated. I was a little angry. And I wish I hadn't went off like that. But, sometimes things happen in the spur of moment, without you're thinking with all your sense,
I got you. All right.
That's right. Can't be throwing tantrums at 53 years
Why
old.
don't you, based on what you said, what you heard, what your clients say, why don't you go in the breakout room with Corporal Hoyt and Mr. Goss and see what you can do for if you can just have a conversation with them to see what they can do. Now that the situation has calmed itself down, and I think that what I hear Mr. Granger saying is that he has regret for how the thing transpired, and I think that's what I hear him saying. I think I hear him saying that he did act out of anger, but I wanted him to make sure that he knew that it's your obligation if you.
Now, see, this is where, old OldSquishyGardener brings up a good point. May have dropped the race card. He's still hearing a lot of entitlement. And that facade needs to be broken on probably a good 50% of the population right now. You are entitled to nothing except for your rights. That's it. If you break the law and everything like that, you kind of forfeit some rights depending on the severity of the infraction or the crime. Sounds like in this case, they impounded his bike, so he didn't have the right to travel with his bike or the right to his property because he lost that right because he broke the law. And on top of it, threw a tantrum. So, you are entitled to nothing but your rights, but you break the law, some of those rights can be taken away for a temporary period or for a long, long time.
You're going to be it's your obligation to know all the rules of the road, and they're all written. I know you've been driving probably longer than I have, and you haven't had driver education in a long time, but they're all written down, sir. So go ahead in the breakout room and see. I'm particularly I was really I was upset about this littering thing. So go in the breakout room and talk to Mr. Goss.
Again, the littering thing in Detroit, this city. I find that funny. It's hilarious.
Join that room again, Mr. Goss and Hoyt, and see what you guys can talk about. All right.
Sure.
All right. Let's go back on the record with Mr. Granger. Mr. Granger, I've given you an opportunity.
All right, so I went ahead and skipped ahead a little bit because they're just going through some normal court proceedings. Want to put up what OldSquishyGardener put because that kind of sums it all up. So he ends up with a reduced speeding charge and a chance to get no endorsement and insurance dropped. So he got a no endorsement. I'm not quite sure what that means, that he doesn't have a motorcycle's license or needs plates for him. I'm not sure. He gets the no insurance dropped if he shows paperwork, plus gets off the littering charge, but at least he got a good he got a good ass chewing as well. And we'll see how they end this.
How many days is that going to be for that cycle endorsement? How long is it going to take you to get that endorsement, Mr. Green?
I can work on that as soon as possible. Maybe I can set up an appointment to go down there next week.
Why don't we? Well, I'll give him 60 days to give
Yeah,
the
he still don't look
endorsement.
happy after
I
getting
wrote
off
that
on
it
all of that.
down, limited access, 1 to 5. We can take care of it all in 60 days once he gets that cycle endorsement. What I want you to do, sir, is bring that cycle endorsement with you in 60 days and bring the proof of insurance to the vehicle or to the bike. And then we will, now what about they're willing to dismiss the littering charge?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, we'll come back in 60 days and we'll take care of this stuff, all right? I wrote the offer down. Go ahead.
Your Honor, if I just plead guilty.
I mean, after all of that, he's willing to, drop all these charges and all that. And it sounds like basically this guy's like, you know what? I just want to be done with it right now. I don't want any of that. I mean, gosh, you're about to make a stupid mistake and it's going to cost you a lot of money. I mean, I don't know how much a no endorsement ticket is. I know a no insurance ticket is pretty expensive. He's just still not satisfied because it's not all done. Entitlement. That's what it boils down to. The microwave generation just want everything now. Sometimes you got to put into work, if you're given an opportunity, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
So, okay, Your Honor. I'll take that
He just
off.
got told by his girlfriend.
Who is that in the background that you're talking to?
My girlfriend.
Who is that very smart young lady that you're talking to? Let me speak to her, please. Miss Harris. That's Miss Harris.
Good morning, Your Honor. I work from home, so I got rollers in my hair. I work for the state of Michigan. I'm a foster care supervisor, so I'm familiar with the court system. So I'm just trying to advise them.
And I wouldn't necessarily say you advise him because he's got a very good lawyer on the line, but it doesn't seem like he's listening to him. But at the end of the day, you've heard everything that went down today. How do you feel about it?
I think that Mr. Granger should take accountability, just like he said, and listen to the court. Listen to his attorney.
Smart woman.
All right. I mean, I don't understand what's this apprehension. You know, I really just wanted, you know, get that. Let's stop this. Let's use that narrative about messing with black in the cases of George Floyd and stuff. Let's not do that about speeding a 53 down Gratiot. Let's not go there like that.
Yes.
So he needs to come back with a cycle endorsement license, come back with proof of insurance. Maybe it might get better for him.
Yes.
But he just wants to plead guilty and stuff, and he can do that if he wants. All right.
No, yeah, we're not gonna do that.
All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to kind of go through that video and just show you what a good debate in, you know, a vacuum would look like between someone who's trying to play the victim card, trying to play the race card, and the arguments that people who view themselves as victims try to use to get out of things. Let me know what you guys think about these characters down in the comments below, man. They are sure comedy. And don't forget to check out Old Squishy Gardener's Court Watch if you like court videos. I might do some more of these just because I like seeing the breakdown of the arguments and how the conversations should go if somebody was actually forced to listen. I wish we had more judges like that. In fact, I think that's one of the top comments, you know, is holy crap, I've been in court hundreds of times as an officer and I've never met a judge of this caliber. We need a nation of judges like this man. Honest, fair, and absolutely no nonsense. And that is true as true can be. And what's it going to take to, you know, get people like this judge into those seats? Well, you know, these judges are all appointed by the people. It happens when you vote. So if you want fair, honest judges that are willing to, I mean, sounds like he's even willing to listen, you know, to the race claim if there's something there, but he's not going to let you get away with it and maybe redirect some of these people onto the right path. We need more judges like that will just not just completely dismiss arguments and just move on, to really break someone's thought process down and try to help them realize that they're thinking incorrectly, or perhaps maybe they see that the system is behaving incorrectly themselves. You got to vote them in there, and you know you got to really do your research on these judges when you're going to vote, and it's going to take all you got. Peace.